Good evening, folks, wherever the heck in the world you are. It is the gorilla, he is the cowboy, and we are Algo Factory Tech. If you've been sitting in the sidelines wondering whether you should join or not, listen, stop sitting there picking lint from your belly button. Join Algo Factory Tech. Put down your cup of coffee. Join us right now. Live your dreams. Make a positive impact on your bottom line. It's going to take some effort on your part, but we are here to help you. There is no get rich quick scheme. There is only one thing, and that is education, instruction, and training that's going to take you to the next level. AlgoFactory.tech. Trade your job, upgrade your life. Cowboy, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm pumped up, ready to go. I got my dark roast from Death Wish. Not my dark. I got a medium roast from Death Wish that I'm chugging. It's delicious.
Nice. Yeah, I went coffee today. I've been going tea for since I've been back with caffeine. Yeah. But this morning I went ahead and had the Verna Street, Verna medium roast.
Yeah. Feel good, huh?
Did you
feels that liquid power. Yeah, Verna Street's good, man. I have it back.
Yeah, I like that flavor. The flavor's really good.
I'm not like you where I grind my own beans and I French press it and then I have it, then I smoke it through a bong or something like that. Or whatever.
Yeah. Well, why don't you? That's the best. Are you not truly? You're not a coffee lover then?
I guess not. Not. Maybe I'm just faking the funk, bro. Sometimes I think I am using a machine drip. I feel like a cheese ball sometimes, Like I'm not there. Yeah.
It's not for real.
Yeah.
It's not for real.
Like I'm not one of the inner sanctum, like one of the initiated few,
Nah. We got a Truckface. Good morning, Truckface. How are you, my man? Truckface is out there working, 12, 16 hours a day. But he's so motivated that he's going to go ahead and do Algo Factory as well and actually put forth the effort. And like V said, this is not something that it's not just going to happen for you. It's not a get-rich-quick type scheme. It is something that requires work and effort. You know how I always talk about my group of normie buddies that, like especially in the Thursday show, I kind of talk about those guys. And there's a couple guys in there that, at least they're kind of aware of a few things. And then there's some that are just straight up socialist. And then there's some that are just clueless. This is kind of a mix of guys in there. One of them is the only guy who isn't very political at all because he probably just doesn't have time. He's actually a literal rocket scientist. The guy's pretty smart, and I went to high school and college with him, and he got hired by a major aerospace company when we were like sophomores in college. I mean, this guy's he's just a smart dude, and he's as hardworking as he is smart, and that's actually a big key. His parents came from another country, and they had like a liquor store, and he just kicked ass. So anyway, this is the kind of immigrant that you want. People who want to come here, take advantage of.
I don't know about that, Cal, but you got to understand. Now you're being racist, man. Look, those immigrants that are sneaking across the southern border, like if you have a narco trafficker, there's a lot you could learn from him. Logistics, for instance, distribution, package delivery. I mean, these are things that you could actually take a narco trafficker and the knowledge he has in trafficking people or narcotics, you can build yourself a successful Amazon business, drop shipping, Amazon packages all over your neighborhood. Like
I'll tell you what,
drug mules, you could have people, putting Amazon packages up their hoo-ha and dispersing it throughout the neighborhood everywhere. You can think about it. You could be one man in a van, but you could have 15 people out there canvassing neighborhoods, delivering packages, all because Guillermo Valdez, Van Lopez, he taught you. And that could only come through the southern border, bro.
Hey, man, Capital One, what's in your prison wallet?
Exactly.
Let me tell you, actually, one of my buddies' parents did come across from Mexico, and they didn't do it legally, but they came here and worked hard in factories. And that dude is actually pretty high level at an organization at a large corporation here in the U.S. And I don't have a problem with that. If you want to come here to work, I got no problem with you. I don't care. I don't care what the system says. If you want to come here to work, I'm good with it. That's how I roll. But again, I don't believe in borders. I don't believe in walls. I believe in don't give away free stuff, because if you're not giving away free stuff, the people who come here are going to be here to work. and I don't care what the legal status is. And that's just how I roll because I'm a libertarian. So I know a lot of people don't agree with that, and you don't have to. But
Is this why you removed all the walls from your house?
yeah, we don't have any walls.
Gotcha.
The only wall that we have,
It's just the bathroom. I understand.
yeah, no. The bathroom walls are the first to go.
Oh, I
We took
see.
the toilet and we put it in the middle of the living room. So,
Even better.
Yeah, we don't mess
Better.
around. So anyway, so look at this. We got in our private group. Let's see who we have in the chat. We got a few hellos. We got Ray, Truckface over there too. Robert, I like to say Robert De Niro. We got. Let me see here. Go back to the YouTube deal here. I was kind of, throwing the link out there, dealing with stuff. But yeah, you guys saw it on there. I just took it down. The algofactory.tech is the URL. You can go straight there, or the QR code. I'll put it up one more time. This is not a get rich quick. This is hard work. This is something where you're going to learn a craft. And we take beginner traders, people who've never traded before. We help you guys out and gals. Even if you have experience, we help you go ahead and probably unlearn some really bad habits. And you develop a trading method, and that's an algorithm. Any trading method is an algo. Okay, anytime you have a process by which you do anything, it's an algorithm. Tying your shoes is an algorithm. Don't let the term algorithm scare you. Okay. Now, once you have built something that works, we actually can put you with our in-house coder for a drastically reduced price to have something coded into a hard-coded algorithm. And I actually am in the middle of doing that. And I have some real cool results. You haven't seen them yet.
No.
But I'm going to show you all. And I did show you guys some kind of early results last week, but we had to do a lot of refinement to the algorithm. So it seems right now that the best time frame is in the hourly. And before we go there, I'm just going to go ahead and take a brief look, because this is exciting. Until you guys see, wait till you guys see the actual numbers that this algo is pumping out. It's stupid. And this is, based on the automatic strategy tester. It's like a computer auto tester that's in TradingView. Beautiful, beautiful software. But in the meantime, I am going to go through some of the economic data so you can see why the markets are kind of, freaking out this morning. They're not freaking out, but they're definitely seeing some volatility. All right, so let's go there first. Okay. And then we'll show you these numbers, because the kind of algo that the algo that I've built, just so you understand, I've been doing this for years. And when you have a robot trading for you, it takes out the emotional, it takes out 90% at least of the emotional aspect of trading. And somebody said it, and another trader on Twitter said it, and they said it so well. It only takes months to build the technical skills to trade successfully. It does not take long at all. Like, if you're dedicated, if you really work at it, you can have the technical aspect of trading in a few months if you really go for it. But what usually takes years to understand is the psychological aspect of trading. And that's where people lose money. That's where you have your 90% of new Forex traders losing 90% of their money the first 90 days because they don't have that psychological aspect down. Okay. Now, here's the thing about it. If you look at the screen now, I'm going to the Algo Factory website, and this is the whole website, and I'm just kind of scrolling down, and at the bottom, you're going to see our courses. You got the Essentials course, which is where people learn just the very basics of trading. Also, they'll learn it just by coming to these live shows or reviewing the live shows. We have this free one, free to the public every day, 8:30 a.m. to 9 EST. And then from 9 to 10 EST, we have the actual live lab for our private members. And then we record that, so those who are not able to kind of watch that live, they're able to see that after the fact. And we save those for months at a time. We have all the live labs going back to the beginning of Algo Factory a few months. So it's all there for you. Eventually, the old shows will go, even though we're going to archive them. Anyway, then you have the algorithmic structure course, and this is where we teach you how to build an algo. And again, don't get scared about the term algorithm. It's actually a lot more simple than it sounds, just like everything else. There are very few things that are going to be more complex than they sound when they're taught properly. And the Gorilla and I actually have a history of teaching people. And when it comes to teaching math, I was actually a private tutor for years. I taught people math, and the people that the school system failed I went ahead and put them back on track, because when you teach something properly, it's not that hard to learn. And I'm an extremely good teacher. Now, here's the operations course, right? This teaches you how to treat trading like a business. Without the operations course, without knowing how to treat trading like a business, you will lose your money. I don't care how good your algorithm is, and I don't care how good your psychology is. You need to know how to treat trading like a business. Otherwise, you will lose your money, most likely. And then there's the ethos course, which is trading psychology. That's the last course. And of course, as we go through these live labs, all of these ideas up here are touched on. Look, trading is a very wide, broad subject. There's really no way to make like a video course and then here you go. Trading is going to come from experience. It's going to come from new questions. We'll be adding to these courses eventually. I mean, these courses are good enough for anything, right? As a starter. But there's no way you're going on YouTube and watching a bunch of courses and then you're a pro trader. It's like the courses are going to give you a foundation, and then you're learning by osmosis, hanging out in these live chats, hanging out in these live calls, or at least watching them if you're not able to be there live. So that's the process. It's what we do. We're going to jump over to the economic data, and then we're going to take a look at the algo real quick before we end the free live lab. The core retail sales came out this morning, and it came out just right as this started. And it was at 0.2%, which that is actually less than expected. Now, what that means, what it should mean for the market, is that it is expected for the dollar to get weaker, right? So it says here, actual greater than forecast is good for currency. Well, the actual was less than forecast on both counts. You have 0.2, forecast being 0.4. And the retail sales is 0.2, with the actual being, that was the actual 0.2 and forecast at 0.5. So you're looking at retail sales slumping right now. Now, what that's supposed to mean, and this is on a month-over-month basis, so they're comparing the numbers to last month. And what this is supposed to mean to the market, right, is where Jerome Powell and the Fed are looking at all the data, deciding if they're going to hike the rates. Now, hiking the interest rate is a tool that they're using to combat inflation. Okay, inflation has been happening supposedly because of all of the money being printed at zero interest rates, and I'm sure that has an effect. But what a lot of people do not understand and don't want to add into the equation is all the supply chain problems that happened with COVID and the deglobalization that occurred. Okay, so when supply chain got miffed and nerfed, basically, what ended up happening was stuff became expensive and inputs became expensive. So all of the, let's just say you're going to buy a car, well, a lot of the parts that you use to make a car, those became expensive because they were on back order from some country that wasn't shipping anymore because of COVID. So the parts that were available became more expensive. And the same is going to be with like everything. Anything that was shipped from a supply chain standpoint, that became more expensive. Also, things were not being produced as much. You had less people at the factory because we have to have people staying 6 feet apart, and this factory has people that normally are 2 feet apart. So we had to lose 2/3 of our people, which means we're making 1/3 of the products, and 1/3 of the products means that it's going to be statistically supposed to be about 68% more expensive. It's just these weird, things that happen with supply chain, and that is kind of going to the wayside. But the public doesn't know all that. The public just knows that, okay, economy go down, interest rate not go up anymore. Okay, that's what most people know. Economy number go down, interest rate number is not going to go up. That's what people think. And so what happens is if Powell does not hike rates, that means that there's some uncertainty that goes away at that point. And so people will invest more money because people are not putting their savings into the market anymore. That's not really the way it works. I mean, people are actually putting debt into the market on the large scale. These large asset managers, a lot of them are just borrowing money, right? Your companies that are investing in their own stocks through buybacks, that's all done based on corporate paper. They're borrowing against their company's value to pump up their stock. And when you can borrow at 1%, you can borrow a lot more money to pump up your stock. It's basically free money. But when you got to borrow at 5 or 6%, that actually becomes very expensive, and you have to pump up your stock a whole lot more for that to make sense. And if you simply can't do that, then you're not going to borrow money to pump up your stock, and market's going to fall. So with this number, retail sales dropping, the idea is that, the economy is falling, the interest rate hikes are doing their job, maybe we don't have to hike anymore, and maybe even the interest rate cuts will come. And the economy thinks that when the interest rate cuts are coming, that market's going to go up. It's actually not necessarily true, and in fact, historically, is not the case. Historically, what happens is the interest rate hike, and this is historically over the past, like, I don't know, 70 years. Anytime there is an interest rate hike for a period and then there is a pause, usually comes after that is interest rate cuts. And that usually happens because the market starts to collapse. And then the rates are cut down as far as they're going to get cut. And in our case, it's probably going to go close to zero like it did last time. And then the market generally does not go up until the cuts are done. That's when the market starts to go up. So the whole idea is that the way the market reacts is that if they think hikes are not going to come, market goes up. But that is like literally not how it works. But that's just what people think. And the market tends to react that way. This morning, it did not react that way. It did it first. So the reaction, if I go to the 5-minute chart, the reaction to the news was this big candle up. This is on the 5-minute chart. So we're looking at this Japanese candlestick being a 5-minute worth of price action. Okay. And the market went up as expected. And then bam, got just stuffed right back down. So a lot of people saw that news. Oh, number go down, market go up, right? That's like the mentality of people, of a lot of traders. Number go down, market go up. And they went ahead and they went long, right? And they're like, oh yeah, number go up. And so they had a trade that looked like this, right? They were going to take profit up here, maybe below this resistance right there, maybe not. But they maybe even higher, right? So whatever it is, they had a trade that looked like that. Their stop loss was down here, right below probably this support right here. And where did price go? It went up. People got excited, probably bought in, and then it crashed and probably stopped a lot of people out. So people got fooled, right? They tried to play the news the way that the news came out. Number go down, number go up mentality, and they probably a lot of them got stopped out right here. And the reality is, if you look at the higher time frame, price has been going up for so long, it's time for it to go down. Like, at least it's a good probability that it's going to go down. If I roll over to, say, the 3-hour chart, you're looking at price action here going back since like to the beginning of June. Price has done virtually nothing but go up. And there comes a time when price is going to head down. And my algorithm does say that it's a decent spot for price to go down. It doesn't mean it's going to, but there's a really good chance price is going to probably start to head down after this. And if not here, if it goes up a little bit more, at some point it's going to go down. That's the probability. So anybody going long after this huge move up is asking for trouble. You fade candles like this. You fade moves like this, especially if you have some structure that you can rely on. That helps. My algorithm does take into account structure. If there's structures on my side, then I'll be able to actually put a bit bigger of a bet on things. But I don't require structure necessarily. So let's see what structure says. And then we're going to take a look at the algo. This is kind of messy. So the information here, the data here is kind of messy. There is this bit of structure right here where this purple candle kind of came up in the past. Let me highlight that so it's easier to see. Right here, this little candle right there. So if I zoom in, you'll see it. Am I zoomed in all the way? Oh man, that's okay. Let's do this. Make it a little easier to see. So that candle right there, that is a bit of structure with which price must contend, but it broke above that. So shorting that, my algo didn't say to short yet, so shorting it wasn't really an option for me. I still have to have that, but this is some pretty decent structure. Like right there, you have 1, 2, 3 candle rejections in the past right there, and then you kind of have some more on the way. It's not the cleanest structure here. The strongest structure for a reversal is going to be way at the top, like either here or there. But if price makes it up there, it's probably going to look something like this. Like that. It will. I doubt it'll happen in a straight line. And it would not surprise me even now for price to just simply do a nice pullback. Where's my arrow? Like right, where is my arrow? Thank you. Like right here, nice pullback. That would not surprise me at all. So that's just a little bit of forecast on EURUSD. So let's get into the fun talk. I sent this because it was like I was talking to my coder 1 a.m. last night, like super excited. Let's go over to my algo here. So the algo that I've built, and I've built these algos, like what I have right now is the result of like years worth of building these. I can take somebody's, like we've done this on our private group where I've taken a couple of people's formative algorithms and I've gone ahead and put my knowledge onto them and say, hey, this is probably what I would do, and give them a chance to see something a little bit different than what they're used to, right? In the meantime, I have this white line right here is the algorithm, and it's what do you call it? It's standalone. The only thing that I would look at besides this would be some kind of a volatility type indicator, because it seems that the particular algo that I've built works better in a less volatile, like a more choppy market. So that's really good. I actually have an algo that works great in a choppy market, which is amazing, because most algos want a trend. They want a hard move. Mine works great in the chop. So and I've already identified how to determine that. I already have a filter that's going to help us determine that as well. But what's really cool is that, what do you call it? So there's a strategy tester you see at the bottom of the screen. Okay, so this white is my algo, right? The strategy tester, if you click on that, you can run a scenario here. Ignore the actual net profit amount, because I still have to actually put in the proper numbers. I'm not going to take 135 trades and make $2,000, right? That's not how it works. But I'm going to go to the deep back testing, right? I'm going to generate my own report, and we're going to go from July. So I'm going to start January, and we're going to go to today. I'm going to generate a report based on this algo. And this is on the hourly chart. Let's make sure we're actually looking at the proper strategy. That's it. Back to the tester. All right, so this is just going back to the beginning of the year. This will change, of course, depending on depending on the what do you call it? The calendar that you choose, right? This, if you have a different kind of year, you'll have different numbers. But for the hourly, going back to the beginning of the year, based on this algo, I have a profit factor of 3.806. That's 3.806 means that for every $100 I risk, the reward would be 3.8. But that happens 80% of the time, right? So the percent profitable is really important here. So you're looking at 78% profitable. So basically you're at an 80% hit rate. That's amazing. That's stupid. Again, ignore the numbers, the drawdown average trade. That's just, those are numbers that got plugged in. But I didn't plug those in. Let me go ahead and make sure that I do have some proper things here though. Let's see, inputs, properties. Okay. All right, 2%. Order size, that's the problem. Okay, 5% of equity, that's fine. 10. Okay, so I went ahead and made this a little bit more realistic. For example, the margin is a margin requirement on the exchange. So stuff like that. So you're looking at basically every trade is like a 3.8 to 1. So what does that look like on the chart, right? On the chart, a 3.8 to 1 looks like this. Say I entered like right there. And this isn't a real trade. I'm just putting this on here for, whatever. Posterity. So a trade's going to look like this. Maybe the stop loss is deeper and the target's higher, but I'm risking $100, or let's just say $1,000. I'm risking $1,000 to make 3,800. That's what that means. That means if I lose, I lose 1,000, and if I win, I make 3,800. So that is a risk to reward ratio 3.81. Okay. Now, these numbers are in a strategy tester. They're not live tested, so the numbers tend to be a little bit not as good when you live test, but like the numbers shouldn't be that different. So look at this. The percent profitable is 78.52, right? So we have a 78.52 hit rate. And calculator, drum roll, is going to be 0.7852 times 3.81. So every time I risk, it's a 2.99 expectancy. It means that every time I click that button and I risk $1,000, I expect to make $2,991, right? Because there's a 299.1. Every time I click that button, that's including the losses, including the wins, and I can actually use this strategy tester. And the way that I've coded this algo is really cool. So we're almost done with the live here, but we're gonna finish this because it's key, and then we'll go over to the private group here. Look at this. On the inputs, my coder did it the way I told him to. I have a stop loss at 1.5 ATRs, right? So ATR is something that we teach. It's just a average true range. It's a way to design your stop loss, and it's 1.5 ATR from the entry. And then I have a target at 1 ATR, 2 ATRs, and 3 ATRs, right? That's how it is right now. And I can manipulate that and then run it through the tester. I can say, okay, I don't want that first one at 1 ATR. I want all my targets to be at 2 ATR and 3 ATR, right? I can do that. Let me see here. The rest of it is just going to be to do with the algo itself. But this is the level to which our guy was able to program and manipulate. And there's a whole lot more I can do. And again, I'm looking at a new filter for this. And long story short, this thing works great in the chop. So I want to filter out trades that occur like the trades. If I just were to take numbers for that massive move up over the last several weeks, the last week or two, like this big move right there, that's no bueno. The numbers don't look good. But if I fact all this chop right here, that's beautiful. And the market stays in the chop for like 70% of the time. And the actual holy grail in a way is to find an algo that works in the chop. And so that's what I've done. Did on purpose. Okay. So I've been doing this a long time. And if you come to Algo Factory, what I can do is I can actually help you make something like this happen. But you got to do it yourself. I can help refine those kind of things. I can help make them quote unquote better, or teach you how to squeeze a little bit more, squeeze a little bit more profitability out of it. So there's the QR code on the screen. I'm going to put the I'm going to put the URL on the screen as well. And I'm going to go, I'm laughing. I don't know who, Chiggy Gaming wants us to give him $9-10 bro. Yeah, sorry, we don't give anything away.
Ain't no charities here, buddy.
Yeah, no charities. But what you can do is, you can head over to algofactory.tech and find a way to make your own money. Gorilla, get us out of here.
Yeah, absolutely. Instead of begging for $9-10, man, you can make 9 or 10 grand if you know how to trade properly. Join us, algofactory.tech. Cowboy, flash that QR code on the screen. Check out the link in the description box. We just showed you a live coded algorithm where we teach you how to do it. We hardwired in there, and it trades on your behalf 24/7, 365. With that being said, let's get over